heard Mickey by Tony Basil. The time now is 2 a.m. and you're listening to WGIC in Cincinnati. Good morning. The next few hours are going to be action-packed here in the studio. We have Susie Sinbad, the microwave psychic, and Josh Ritz, singer, songwriter, spleen surgeon. But first up is an expert in collaborative teamwork. His name is Mick Klinger, and he is here live in our studio to talk about dealing with change in your team. If you've been listening to Mick's past seminars and webinars, you will have learned about the framework of a team, different ways to lead a team, how to build a team, and how to sustain it. Welcome, Mick Klinger.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy to be here today to continue discussing collaborative teamwork.
So what aspect of collaborative teamwork are you going to touch on today?
We're going to talk about dealing with change. The day-to-day things we experience working together on a team continue to affect our perceptions, which influence our ability to see the big picture. Today I want to talk about day-to-day experience we know as change.
Well, Mick, we all experience change every day. Much of it unpredictable. How do you manage through it?
Well, Dave, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to share with you the 7 tips for dealing with change. These may change your team life. They are the tips that I want to share today. Deal with fear, understand what you can control, see the positives, acceptance, deal with stress, use your resources, and be proactive.
Mick, that's a lot of information to digest. And speaking of digesting, this segment is brought to you by X-Lax, when you just gotta get moving. Okay, let's talk about point number 1. Deal with fear. Mick, why do we fear change?
We usually become fearful of change because we're afraid of the unknown. So, in fact, we really aren't afraid of change at all, but rather we are afraid of what we don't know. We need to learn about the details of the change so we can understand it, and therefore lose our fear of it. The more we know, the less we fear. This can help things feel more manageable. We need to try to figure out if the actual worst that can happen is as bad as what we think can happen. Remember how scary the idea of starting a new position or joining a new team was? It's like being the new kid in class all over again. Change is rarely as bad as you think it will be. It just takes a little time to get used to it.
Yeah, like when they replaced Aunt Vivian on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That change took a lot of getting used to.
Well, yes, I suppose something like that. The point is that you can't let your fear make matters worse. When working within a team, recognize that fear affects us all and support each other to help manage the fear.
I see the phone lines are lighting up here. Mick, let's see if our callers have any questions for you. Hello, caller? You're on the air.
Hi, my name is Curtis.
Hello, Curtis. I'm listening.
You say team members can fear change because change is about the unknown. Are there other reasons someone might fear change?
You know, that's an excellent question. I think people also fear change because it sometimes means that the person being affected is not in control. And that brings me to my next point about dealing with change. Understand what you can control. We like to be in total control of any situation affecting our lives. Being in total control is rarely the case for any of us. Therefore, when a change happens, we need to figure out if it's something that we can control and have control over. Little control over or no control over. Understanding your role and how much you can affect the change can sometimes help you put things in perspective. Regardless of how much control you have, recognizing the level of control helps team members understand their part in the change.
Caller, did that answer your question?
Yes, that was great. Thank you. And for the record, I like the first Aunt Vivian the best. She graced the screen with a powerful dignity.
Preach. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hello? Hi, I made it through. This is Melissa, longtime listener, first time caller.
Hello, I'm listening.
Well, I have a question for you, Dr. Klinger.
I'm not a doctor, just call me Mick.
Okay, well, Dr. Klinger, I find the problem with change is that it can create a lot of negative feelings on a team. How do you suggest team members combat that negative feeling that always seems to come with any sort of change?
That's point number 3. See the positives in the change. This can help you feel better. Positives are not always obvious, and it might also take some time to see them, but it's worth it. For example, if you've recently transferred to a new team or location, you are now away from the things you are familiar with, and that can be upsetting. But in looking for the positives, you can find it's also a great way to learn how to be more resourceful and be a resource for your new team. In time, you might actually grow and perform better than had you stayed where you were. Growth and better performance are other positives. When change happens to a team, discussion of the positive outcomes keeps everyone motivated.
Wow. Thanks, Dr. Klinger.
Dang it, I'm not a doctor, I'm an insulation salesman.
Ooh, things are heating up here at WGIC. Hello, you're our next caller. You're on the air with Mick Klinger.
Hi,
Hello, caller, what's your name?
that's none of your business.
Quick on the bleep button, people.
Caller, you don't sound happy. Do you have a question about collaborative teamwork and change?
Yeah, I get what you're saying about trying to stay positive, but sometimes it's really hard to do that. For example, last week, we had a big team meeting, and I was pretty excited to be there. But the fellow team member sitting beside me was texting during the meeting. That night, she quit the company. We found out the person she had been texting during the meeting was the boss of the company she was leaving us for. I feel completely betrayed. It's hard to be positive after something like that.
Angry caller? You brought to us the point number 4, acceptance.
No! I don't accept any of it.
Got you again.
Why, you little...
Just listen to me. You can't control what your coworker did. And feeling betrayed is a normal thing for that situation. If the unwanted change is beyond your control, taking a more reflective approach is a better option. There needs to be a cool down period. It allows us to take time to process and refocus on things we can control. Accepting that there are things beyond our control will bring greater calm and comfort to the team. Otherwise, we end up pointing fingers and engaging in futile arguments. At this point, the team needs to view the change as an opportunity to learn and grow, rather than a setback.
Well, you're talking to the wind, Mick. The caller hung up in an unholy rage.
Profane caller, if you're out there listening to this, then you need to hear point number 5. One of my tips for dealing with change, dealing with the stress.
Yes, whether a change is good or bad, it can add stress to a team because it's a new situation.
That's exactly right. Improving our ability to handle stress will go a long way in helping you deal with change. Make sure the team has opportunity to express their feelings on the change, offer ideas to help, and even have time alone to figure things out. Stress can really hurt a team, and it needs to be managed wisely.
Wise words from a wise man. If you're just joining us, you're listening to WGIC, and the topic today is collaborative teamwork, dealing with change. Our next caller, welcome. You're on the air with Mick Klinger.
Hi, I have a question for Mick Klinger. I'd rather not use my real name. Let's just call me Murphy.
Okay, Murphy, do you have a question about collaborative teamwork?
I do. I've been working with a team for quite some time now, and part of my problem is to get these guys to support each other and to lend each other a hand.
So what you're saying is,
Let me clarify. So every time change occurs, These guys act like they don't know which way is up.
So what you're actually asking me is,
Wait, I'll clarify that again. And that sums up my question. Hello?
oh, an excellent question, Larry. Murph. A question which needs no further clarification. Your concerns bring me to point number 6. Using our resources. Change comes in all shapes and sizes, but they are rarely unique. When change happens, you can bet that somewhere out there it has happened before to someone else. If it happened before, it's been managed before. Reach out and use the resources available to you. It's perfectly normal to feel overwhelmed, and so the best is to start by looking for support. Look for advice and or emotional support to get you through the change. Whether you're coping with your favorite show's season finale or something more serious, there's always others in similar situations that are ready to help.
Wait. I have one more question.
Sorry, Murphy, we're out of time. I see from the clock on the wall that our time together is drawing to a close. We have time for just one more caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. You're live with Mick Klinger.
Hello, my name is Ann Frickle.
Hello, Ann Frickle. I'm listening.
I just ate 2 dozen donuts and I'm going for my 3rd. Can you talk me down?
And Frickle, Overeaters on the Airwaves doesn't start until 4 a.m. Next call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. You're on the air with Mick Klinger.
Thank you. My name's Kathy Crawford, and I have a question for Mick. Most of the things that you've been talking about tonight seem to be about change that happens suddenly, without forewarning. But what if you had advance notice that it's coming? What if you know ahead of time? How can we use that knowledge to our advantage when trying to keep our team strong?
That's an excellent question, and one I deal with in point 7. Be proactive. If the unwanted change is within our control, try taking an active approach to coping with it. This is very useful for the team.
Mick, can you elaborate on that for us?
Engaging in problem solving or goal setting to proactively address unwanted developments is an excellent way to deal with change. Focusing on the problem at hand, developing a plan of action, and asking for advice are useful strategies. Let's address Ann Frickle and those 2 dozen donuts. A proactive approach would be, not to keep 2 dozen donuts in your home. Surround yourself with healthy snacks, Ann. And as for the health of our team, being proactive allows us not to let the change get bigger than it needs to be. A proactive approach is empowering and shows the strength of the team and its members.
Excellent.
Wonderful, Mick. Thank you.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Mick, thank you for being with us. Do you have any final words?
How about we answer that last call I see blinking right there?
Okay, one more. Caller, you're on the air with Mick.
Hi, Mick. My name is Quinn, and I am so glad you took my call. I joined the broadcast a little late, and I apologize for that. I'm hoping you can help me with a few things. Could you just briefly summarize the tips you've covered? Can I get an official transcript of the show? And would a recording be available for a download? I just really can't get enough of this stuff.
Yes to all those questions, Quinn. For now, though, let me give you a quick summary of the tips we talked about through tonight's broadcast. The tips that we shared are: deal with fear, understand what you can control, see the positives, acceptance, deal with stress, use your resources, and last but not least, be proactive. So, will that get you through the night, Quinn?
Absolutely.
You can download a recording of the broadcast shortly.
One last thing. Do you have any tips on golfing? I find my swing just isn't quite as good as the most interesting man in the world.
That's all the time we have for now, folks.
Hey, if you ever need a host for a golf show, I'm your man, Mick Klinger, Greek god of golf.
I think Klinger is a German name.
Yeah, probably right. Besides, the last time I played a Greek god, it didn't go over well in our company. Oh, I'm sure I'll be golfing god of Germany, too.
Well, you've been listening to Mick Klinger on Collaborative Teamwork here on WGIC. Next up is Susie Sinbad, the microwave psychic. She'll read your fortune in the unpopped kernels at the bottom of the bag of your microwaved popcorn. WGIC, bringing you the best in late night talk radio. Good night.
Oh, your heads aren't there.
Well, you can zoom in and out.
I can?
Turn the lens.
This?
Yeah.
Is this a lens?
Recording now. Cut. I just want to hear what it sounds like.
So are you guys just going to try and record this straight through?
No, I need stops.
We'll definitely need some stops. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, my name is Curtis.
Hello, Curtis.
Okay, don't do that. Hit pause on that.
This can help things feel more comfortable, more manageable. Perform better. And then where you had stayed, let's stop. That butchered it. That butchered it.
Hello. You're on. Oh, bang. Cut.
When we put our heads down on the desk, that's
Oh, right, because you said you can edit.
We're going to start with okay, Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pick that one up again.
Darn, I even had my stuff. You know what got me is healthy snacks, and the last one I filmed with my wife, and we're still going through marriage
okay,
counseling.
wait, something bad happened. Can you guys say that again?
Nope. It's recording, right, Paula?
Nope.
Yeah, it's
done.
It's recording.
All right,
Okay,
one
say
more
that
time.
again.
So the last one that we filmed in Orlando was me and my wife, and we're still going through marriage counseling. So it was good that me and Dave got back together here. So it's better when we're together. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So cool deal.